In Zarvan, a beautiful and quiet village in Yemen, there lived a pious man who was a prosperous farmer. He was blessed with a most pleasant demeanor and a kind heart. He was also the fairest and most generous man in the village. Whatever he generated, whether a good crop or a profitable business transaction, he always contributed 1/5 of it to the poor, as Islam decreed. He never failed to remember, though, who was the ultimate provider of his wealth. The farmer's home, because of his charity and benevolence, had become a safe house for many who were down on their luck. Penniless Sufi dervishes lived there from time to time, as well as travelers who had nowhere else to stay when they passed through Zarvan. Additionally, the village's poorest residents would come and go regularly when they were in need. The farmer was famous in the region. People knew that he always separated out what he intended to distribute to the poor from what he himself would take home for his personal needs. Out of every batch of wheat that he harvested, he put aside 1/5 of it for charity, and the bread he baked with it was always distributed among the needy. The farmer was sure that, come what may, he would maintain this altruistic routine until his dying day. However, he was not so sure about his children, whether they would follow his example. In fact, he was fairly certain that they wouldn't, seeing the way they looked at him whenever he distributed to the needy what they believed was their personal share of his wealth. The farmer knew instinctively that what he gave away was not simply wealth flowing out the door, but in fact a long-term investment. He believed that if one gave away the zakat, or 1/5 portion of any gain, God would in turn guarantee a bountiful return. He was certain that sowing his seeds, tending to his fields and crops every year, and working hard at his livelihood were merely abilities that had been gifted to him, and that the true provider of life was only God. He advised his children regularly to continue his ways, but he knew that they were against him and would never do as he wished. When it came to his children, he was merely sowing seeds in a salt field. The farmer eventually passed away, and, just as he had suspected, his children were uncharitable with the family's wealth and shut their door to the needy. Soon, their farms became unyielding and were left to rot, while the dervishes stopped passing through those parts entirely, keeping their blessed presence far from Zarvan and its people forever.